Oh, hang on a minute. Oh,
What's that? You've got to press record, you nub.
Now I've pressed record. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast episode 60 for Tuesday the 23rd of February 2021. I'm your host Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 317, 360G. And joining me today is, I can't fucking do it today. Anyway, carry on.
Since I switch, tired and ready to go.
And bring up the rear, cinema Dan.
Just how Dan likes it. Way. Oh, come on.
Yeah, well,
funny.
I usually come first, so it's so I thought I paced myself today, so it's all good.
Oh dear.
Smut.
Sorry, this cough will not fucking shift. I've had it for over a month now. And it still hasn't gone. It hasn't fucking gone, I tell you. It's bullshit. Anyway. How we all doing?
All right, I think. Just found out that the country's having a piss up on the 21st of June this year. Everyone's apparently invited.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes, shall we?
Yeah. Well, considering we haven't really been drinking, any of us, it's going to be like 3 pints and a trip to the bed.
3 pints, bloody hell! I'm pissed after 2.
Oh well, there you go.
I'm a cheap date.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Anyway, yeah. It's all kind of interesting at the moment. We'll see how we go. Yeah.
So, I'm sad to say, just get serious for a moment, that got a bit of bad news today. Just want to say a big thank you to. This is probably the only time I'm ever going to say this about another podcast. I will say a big thank you to Ricky and Toz from Cranky Gamers for actually letting me know this info. As you may know, last year we had a guest on. His name is Mark Armstrong. Gamer tag is Gnats. Episode 15 of 360 Gamercast, if you guys want to go and listen back. So the reason we had him on was because he's been a community member for quite a long time. And he was going into hospital for quite a major operation. Explains it all in that episode of the podcast. I don't really want to repeat, all the ins and outs of what happened. But he came out of hospital, the end of last year. And actually, the last time I spoke to him was in December. And he said to me that he was doing okay. So I was quite shocked today to find out that, sadly, he passed away on Saturday. Rest in peace, Mark, my man. This is probably the hardest thing about running a community is obviously there's real people behind all those gamer tags and avatars, and when sad news like this happens, it kind of, you get a little bit of a reality check, if that makes sense. That these are real people and there's families and friends and stuff. So. It's sad news, obviously we put it out on all the social medias today, and thank you to everyone who replied. But yeah, I thought I'd let everyone on the podcast know. It especially hit home for me because obviously I've been keeping in touch with him privately, and obviously we had him on the show. I know that he was a big part of the Cranky Gamers podcast. He was a co-host on there for quite a long time. So I imagine those guys are probably feeling it a lot more. Yes, it's very sad news. So I just want to raise a glass. Nats, I know you're in a better place there, mate. And I know you've probably got a Series X up there because none of us fuckers can get one. So cheers. And I hope you're gaming up there, mate, and having a great time. Nice one. Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah. Well said, mate. Well said. Condolences to his family.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
He was a really nice guy, and it's always the good ones, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, just a reminder, episode 15, if you want to listen. I actually, I went back and listened to that episode this morning. got a little bit teary actually, because it's really weird, because you know you're listening to someone's voice and they're not around anymore. It's a bit like you know, when a movie star dies, you know, and then you're watching an old movie, you know, and it's like, oh fucking hell, it's just really really weird. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be quite nice in a way for his family, if anything, that he has recorded podcasts.
Yeah.
So they can go back and listen to his voice.
Yeah.
And it brings back all those other memories with the person as well. Because I know they do things now, don't they, where they can take your voices and put them into like soft toys and stuff like that for loved ones and that to remind themselves like what they sounded like and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I mean, because I was chatting to him, and because of his operation, he couldn't really talk properly anymore. So obviously, he didn't want to come back on a podcast, because he was, you know, if you listen back to that episode before he went in, he was struggling.
Yeah, so, it was affecting his speech, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he was saying.
Yeah. You know, it's a horrible thing, you know. But yeah, condolences to his family, because obviously, you know, he's got a couple of kids and that. You know, it's hard. So yeah, it's strange. I mean, like, because like the day, like, funnily enough, yesterday I because I'm a member of the Final Fantasy 14 Reddit, and there was a big post on there about you know, do you know any like clan guild members who've died and what's happened? It's a bit like WoW as well. You know, you get to really know people who you game with. I mean, you know, I met most of my best friends through gaming, to be honest. You know, with you guys, and you know, it's strange when you think you don't really see these people physically much at all, but you know each other so well. You know, and you talk a lot and all that, and it was really interesting, you know, just this thread on Reddit about, you know, how people had found out, like, these gaming friends who they'd never even met, you know, gamed with for like 10 years or whatever, had died, and how it affected them, and then they had, like, you know, the online funerals on MMOs and stuff that they do on WoW and Final Fantasy 14 and stuff, and it's just...
And there's the guy, wasn't there, who passed away just before the end, like before Heaven's Ward came out. And all these different servers had like this memorial thing, and they were spelling his name out or his character's name out on the beaches with lights and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and it's just, I mean, that's a nice way to remember someone, really. But I think it just goes to show the power of video games and internet. You know, people make real connections online, even though they haven't physically met in the real world. And, you know, it's a nice thing, you know, that people can make those connections, to be honest. I think, you know, that's really is a massive positive in gaming. But, you know, the only sad thing about it is like sometimes it can take quite a long while to find out, you know, if someone has passed or whatever. And
well, that's it. You might be like, oh, where's so and so? He hasn't logged in on his account for like over a year now.
Yeah,
like, you're none the wiser as obviously what's going on.
Yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just weird, because like when I found out today, it was just like, you know, kind of like, you know, we're all members of a big community here, and obviously there is crossover between other communities. You know, the UK's not, you know, it's a small place, and it was just nice how people were kind of just getting together and talking and saying their condolences online and stuff. So yeah. You know, I just like to you know, we'll dedicate this show to him, obviously, and try and make it as good as we can.
Let's get the jokes rolling out. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, yeah, that's enough about the sad stuff. You know, it's you don't want to be down in the dumps. You know, I've always said, you know, I mean, I've known a lot of people pass in my short life, and I'm sure a lot of listeners have, and podcast co-hosts and stuff. And it's always that thing, you know. Yeah, no, it is sad, obviously, but you got to try and think of the good times, right, and those happy memories, You know, so
try and live to the fullest.
Yeah,
you
of
never
course.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into gaming stuff, the news stuff.
Yeah.
So, I only had one piece of news.
One piece of news.
Well, it better be the big piece of news that happened.
What's that? The Nintendo stuff?
Direct. Yeah.
So that's what I've got.
So
So all I've got written on my show notes is Nintendo Direct, because I know Dan has it all written down. So this is Dan. So the new section is now.
Someone has.
Dan's in charge.
I'm going to control the pace of this motherfucker. If anyone rambles, it's next. Okay. So what initial thoughts? What did you guys think? It was about 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch it live.
It's quite long for them.
It is. I didn't watch it live, so I literally caught up with it about an hour after it showed. And I thought it was pretty good. I'm not sure about you guys.
I really liked it. There was a few surprises, which I'm sure we'll get to in a moment when Dan reels off the bits and bobs that he's got written down, so I don't want to mess that up. But I'm pretty excited about one piece of news in particular that came out on Nintendo Direct.
Oh. Well, if we start off with the biggie so far, I'll just pick at these, and if I don't think they're useful, I'll just chuck them out, and we'll get through this in less than 5 minutes. Job done. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD remake, or whatever it's called.
So that's the one that I'm actually excited about. That's the one thing. So for me, Dan, the reason I'm excited for this is, one, I've never played it. And I love Zelda games. Two, the Joy-Cons. And I've been moaning in our personal chats that my Joy-Cons for my Switch are broken. Yeah, they're not working as they should, and you can't bloody find Joy-Cons for love nor money anywhere. So I'm gonna attempt to pre-order these. I'm probably not gonna get out a pre-order though because of the dirty scalpers.
Get on Amazon, mate. As soon as they get announced, boom, done. Get in there and get it done.
So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. But what's interesting about this is you can play it in a couple of ways. So you can play it like in the old Wii way with with the two controllers and wiggle your sword and your shield and all that bullshit. But they're actually changed the control scheme to you can use your thumbstick.
Thank God for that.
To move the sword. So you know which way I'm going to be playing it.
Yeah, the wrong way.
Yeah.
I was playing this earlier in lockdown actually. On the I've got a download of it for my Wii U, and then I've got myself a Wii Motion Sensor Plus, or whatever it's called. So I've used the Wii remote controls recently, and they work okay, but it gets to a point where you kind of end up almost tugging the two things apart. There's one moment where you have to stick the Wii remote in the air to raise the Master Sword aloft, and everything almost went flying. But when I was playing it, there was a couple of dodgy control moments, like there's a giant bird you have to fly around, and that was a little bit dodgy using the Wii remote. So I'm actually looking forward to trying this out on a proper joypad layout. And go from there, because it got to a point where it felt like an exercise workout playing the fucking game.
See, the thing that concerns me on the Switch is I've got that 51 games on your recommendation, and I really like it. But what I find is like the motion controls for the rare time that my nunchucks actually work, not plugged into the bloody console. The motion controls, like on the bowling, are so shit.
I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, it's awful. So you have to try it and let me know if it's actually my shitty nunchucks or if it's the actual.
Or maybe it's really terrible. Maybe it must be really terrible at bowling,
mate. Probably.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a full price release, out July, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, probably July.
July 16th.
There you go.
It's just come up on the stream. That's how I know.
Get in there. Get in there. The other big game that I got really, really excited about was Splatoon 3, which I don't think any of you guys played it. Have you played it, Darren?
Meh.
I played the first one. Didn't get the second one.
Yeah, the second one.
Although the second one was supposed to be more tailored towards single player stuff.
Yes, there's a load of single player in it. The second one, in fact, the rumor goes it was developed for the Wii U, but carried over to the Switch, I believe. So this one is built for the Switch from the ground up, and for what I could tell already, you could already see a vast improvement in a lot of the graphics and scope for it. I really like Splatoon 2. I think it's one of the best multiplayer games on the Switch, if I'm being honest. I regularly go back to it. It's fast, it's fun, it's frantic. Once you get the gist of it and the mechanics, it's quite addicting. And they're still
it never ever really seems to come across like it's got this really horrendous sort of side to the community, like some other shooters do.
Yeah.
The sort of like hate and bickering and stuff that you get from like usual like COD crowds or like that.
Yeah, everyone's lovely.
That's because they're all like 5-year-old kids and there's no voice chat.
Yeah,
that
well,
helps. Voice chat probably helps.
In all fairness, though, children do swear like a good one, and you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do quite well in Splatoon 2, so that's probably why I'm beating the shit out of a load of 5-year-olds. So yeah. Oh well. Anyway, my XP's looking good and my ranking's good, so I don't care. So that's a good one. Another one that really just got what was a bit of a surprise was Barrio Golf Super Rush.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Mario Golf game for years.
No, there hasn't.
The N64, the GameCube that had the last one?
I've got the GameCube one. I own a copy of that, and that's great. It's really, really good. I can't remember the last Mario, but this one was interesting in terms of the multiplayer scope, in the sense that everyone tees off at the same time, and then you have to run to where you tee your ball to, and then hit it.
Oh, it's like wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like a crazy golf. It's like a golf crossed with, I don't know, I wouldn't say Mario Kart, but you kind of run, and you can put each other off running after your ball and stuff like that. So it looks kind of frantic and kind of fun. And then there's a whole load of story mode, tournament mode in there. I'm not really usually a big fan of golf games, but the Mario golf games I've always thought were quite good. So I've got my eye on that one.
They could do some interesting things with it. Like it must have been on the Wii. Surely there must have been a Mario Golf on the Wii. If not, that seems like a really missed opportunity.
They miss, it is this is Nintendo, mate. They miss opportunities all over the place.
See, I see. This has got motion controls as well.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
it's got. I've just seen on the video a dude standing there holding his Joy-Con with his, in a funny position, and then pretending it's a golf club.
Yeah, he practiced that for ages by the look of it.
Yeah.
I mean, most people will be
used to do it with was it like Wii bowling, and then like you have your mates all round and you're all drinking, and then your mate takes a long run up, rolls back, ends up letting loose like this immense granny roll that fucking crawls all the way to the end and then gutters at the last minute.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's out in June, so the summer's looking really good for Nintendo already. I'm just going to pick a few here and there now. What was announced? Fall Guys was announced, Ultimate Knockout.
Yeah, it's also coming to Xbox on the same day.
Yeah. There you go. Bravely Default 2 should be out shortly. There's a demo for that. I haven't tried yet.
Yeah, I played the original on the DS.
Any good?
I never finished it though. Never finished it, but it is renowned as being, one of the best JRPGs on the Nintendo DS. So
3DS or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to play any more games like that.
No, I won't be picking this up. But it looks interesting.
Other RPGs, Legend of Mana.
I'm quite excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never played it.
Good.
What?
I never played The Legend of Mana.
I played Secret of Mana on the SNES.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Secret of Mana, I was thinking.
But I think this is also coming to every other platform as well.
Is it? Oh.
It's Squeenix, so I'm guessing it's also coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to come on everything else.
Okay, we'll skip that one for now. There was some more details on Monster Hunter Rise and a couple of new modes that got shown, which look kind of interesting. Apex Monsters and Rampage mode.
The kitchen sink at this game, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Everything we've ever had in a Monster Hunter game, it's in this. It's in this one.
Buy it now. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. It looks kind of fun though. It does look fun. Let's wait and see. I mean, I've got my pre-order down.
It's just a little bit of a shame for me personally. Like, I played the demo, and after playing Monster Hunter World, it just goes to show how underpowered the Switch is compared to everything else.
Here we go.
No, it's not me being fanboy or anything.
You say that, but obviously when we get to another game that obviously had new fighters announced for it,
yeah,
they showcased that game within that game's own engine to a degree, and I still think the graphics in that game for that type of game look fantastic.
Yeah,
considering it's on a handheld, it still looks good, even though that game's now 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah. It just seems to be Nintendo's own made games look great, and then all the third-party games just look a bit meh. Anyway, so the point I was trying to get at is after playing Monster Hunter World, which looks and runs nice, and then I played the demo for this on the Switch. I was just a little bit disappointed with the graphics and the
what were you expecting?
I was expecting it to be
the Mona
awesome.
fucking Lisa, yeah. In fucking 4K with ray tracing.
It just feels like a bit of a downgrade from Monster Hunter World. That's all I'm saying. That's just how it felt to me.
Not all of us want to be locked in a room with a giant fucking monitor, sitting there sweating our arse off in what's going to be, was it spring, summer, and autumn this year, which in all probability is going to be fucking hot. I want Monster Hunter. I want to be I want to have it. I want to sit on the sofa and play it. I want to play it in the back garden. I want to play it if I ever get back on my commute. That's why I want to play it. I don't want to be at home tied to my fucking TV playing it. So there.
That's fair enough. Doesn't mean it doesn't look shit though.
Oh, fuck off! You don't know what you're talking about half the time, mate.
Well, if you buy me a copy, I'll play it with you.
Buy you a copy? Fuck off!
I look at the Switch as a handheld, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. Same here, mate.
It's called the Switch for a reason. It's the duality of being able to play it on the TV.
Well, yeah. Anyway, next. I'm moving on now because you're rambling.
Yeah, sorry. This isn't the Xbox Ramble. I've mentioned 2 podcasts this week now.
Congratulations. Samurai Warriors 5. That looked pretty good.
Yes.
I'm quite looking forward to dabbling in these types of games a bit more. I'll move on to the next bit of news in a second.
If you open your mind to just over the top fun rather than like story and things like that, just fun replayability with a constant like that game almost constantly has the old carrot in the stick in front of you, but in a good way. It's like everything you pretty much do in those games, like next time you go in you'll be stronger. When you do it again you'll get even stronger, and then you can do harder difficulties and get better rewards and things like that. But this was quite a surprise again. This isn't on just the Switch either. Like the announcement, I thought, is this going to be an exclusive? Because Samurai Warriors 3 was actually a Wii exclusive.
Yeah.
And then Samurai Warriors 4 was either PlayStation 4 exclusive or PlayStation exclusive, and that's still one of my favourite in the entire Musou series ever. Like, it's my favourite Samurai Warriors games without a doubt. It's so well polished. It's got a great roster, and they added stuff to it. Like each game they try and rejig things, but what they actually did with that one was a vast improvement. They didn't strip anything away from the previous games. In fact, they gave you more on top and gave you more movesets and stuff to work with, which opened up the game and made it faster to play.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, and I have to say the graphics on that look
it does.
Amazing.
It does look. It does look good. I was actually going to say this one looks quite. I mean, it's not the type of game that I would play, but it does look nice.
Yeah, it looks like they've kind of gone down a slightly cel-shaded route with it. And gone back to the roots of the story, because Nobunaga and Mitsuhide both look a lot younger than they originally do in those titles.
No idea who they are.
Characters in the game, mate.
Very famous people in Japanese history.
Okay.
You'll learn Japanese history by playing these games.
Okay, cool.
Which next?
I'm looking forward to. So that moves on to an expansion pass coming out for Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, which I'm quite excited by because that game is fucking amazing. So there's no news exactly what the expansion pass is. I'm just hoping. Well, look at this way. Considering they've got every single asset from Breath of the Wild and they've somehow incorporated it into the entirety of the game, and it was churning out assets I slightly even forgot about when I was playing it. So it'd be interesting to see where they go with it and see what kind of content we actually get for our £18.
£18.
Yeah, you get two drops. So you get some content in the next couple of months, I think, and something else by the end of the year, I think.
Mate, so with that expansion pass, it's about on par with a PlayStation 5 title then, in price wise. Lols.
Well, you can get. I mean, I've got at least 30-40 hours out of it so far, so I think it's value for money personally. But anyway, yeah.
It'll probably be a couple of modes and some extra characters. They usually are for those games. But yeah. I think they pretty much run through a majority of the characters, didn't they, in the game?
Oh, man. I've even unlocked the secret character, which... have you played it much, or is it still stuck on your shelf?
No, I still haven't touched it. I still haven't touched it at all. It's literally sitting there to be savoured at some point.
There is... what do I say? There is a secret character I stumbled upon, which you don't get from unlocking the main quest, which is just fucking ridiculous but hilarious at the same time.
Is it Tingle?
No, unfortunately not. But that would be a good shout for the expansion pass. He wasn't in Breath of the Wild, but let's get him there. Let's get him. Or at least give Link a Tingle costume.
Chaos Tingle, or call him something weird. Evil Tingle. There you go, give them ideas.
Yeah. Oh man, I won't say anything because when you do play the game, it kind of you unlock loads of characters you weren't expecting, which is really cool. And they all play differently. And then there's a new game plus, I guess, to a degree, where you can really go to town. But anyway, I digress on how awesome that game is. They'd spent a lot of time on something called Project Triangle Strategy, I think it was called.
Yeah,
which is a work in progress title, which is a really bad title. If I'm being honest.
A tale of salt and iron.
Yeah, it's like a 3D isometric, not very sexy Game of Thrones type of puzzle game. I think.
I'm not surprised they put a demo out already. Style. It's not out till 2022, is it?
I know.
Well, yeah, they're using the demo as a bit of feedback, aren't they?
Yeah, data collection as well. Yeah. They want to see how people play it before they adapt it, which makes sense because that's the power of the internet now. They're taking the time to invest that into their games, and they've done it quite a bit recently with some other titles, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they did it with Octopath, I believe.
Yeah. So
it has that Octopath art style, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I think it's the same team.
Yeah. So they're literally getting the feedback real time because there'll probably be like a user agreement to play the demo. So all your data all your actions or decisions get transferred off. So that's how they're doing that. What other stuff's out? Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, which I will not be getting because those games are hard as fuck. And to me, that's like having 3 levels and not being able to progress any further. So
Rubenstein.
Exactly. I'm old now. I've got the fucking reactions to play those games.
So you're getting some bang for your buck there. like.
Oh yeah, man.
Content-wise.
I think that's coming out on everything because there's a PS4 trailer as well.
Is there now?
No, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as I said, it was a. Well, the thing is, it's coming to the Switch, so you know, there was a few surprises.
Yeah.
Running through some odds and sods. What was I surprised at? That's coming, but I don't give a shit about. Was Plants vs Zombies: Battle for the Neighborhood, which I've played on Game Pass.
Oh, you didn't? Is it the worst one of the three?
It is, yes. It's too much content on it. You go into a multiplayer match, and God, because you're starting off as a noob, you don't have much options, and all of a sudden, you know, there's all these people who've been playing it for ages. You know, got their purple fucking cactus machine gun bloke who, you know, standing in the corner just taking pot shots at you. It's one shot, one kill, because you know they've maxed it out, and it was a little bit too, how do I say, daunting when you go into the world view to navigate where you're supposed to go and what options you've got. It's a little bit too. It needs a bit of work, if to make it more user friendly. Try it out on Game Pass though. You might disagree. You might have some fun with it, but oh dear. Other stuff. Let me have a look.
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, just a couple of new characters from what was it?
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised at the characters, to be honest. Xenoblade 2.
I haven't played a Xenoblade Chronicles.
So it's
2.
one character. So it's like
Pyro and Mithra.
Yeah, big
Pyro.
tits. Not wearing a lot of clothes.
Right.
Yeah, awesome.
They're actually pretty well clothed for like female characters in a Japanese game, to be honest.
I wasn't thinking about their clothes. I wasn't really interested in it. I think Webby's eyes is bigger than his fucking belly half the time when you look at these video games.
I am a boob man. I just have to tell you that now.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
I just thought the trailer was quite well done, because I don't know have you played Xenoblade 2 at all?
No, I haven't.
So I've played it, so it was just kind of really weird watching that trailer. I was like, oh yeah, I know all these characters, and it's using all the same voice actors and just what was going on, because I think they used a lot of the Xenoblade assets, and then it went into Smash Bros. I was not expecting that at all. It was a really well done trailer, to be honest.
Yeah,
it throws you off, because you probably have a few people going, hang on, is this the rumoured Smash reveal, or are they doing another Xenoblade?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
In all fairness, you had Sephiroth last time, so, you know, you can't really moan about this, if I'm being honest.
Oh, no, I'm not moaning.
Oh, fans will always find something to moan
of course.
at, like when it comes to the Smash roster. Like, where's Waluigi? Like, if they actually announce Waluigi for Smash Brothers, I think the internet would melt down.
He's going to be the last character. People are going to go batshit, mate.
Hasn't Sakurai said he's never going to add him, though, or something?
Don't know. I haven't played Smash properly in ages, mate. It got to the point where I just wasn't very good at it, so I gave up. It's
fair enough.
It's yeah. It's yeah. I'm not going to say anymore. And then really, that's it. Really, there was a couple other titles. Apex Legends is coming soon. Don't care. Stubbs the Zombie Rebel Without a Pulse. Don't care.
Meh.
That's the old original Xbox game, isn't it? By Bungie?
Yeah, OG Xbox, yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Star Wars Hunters, free to play. Meh. Famicom Detective Club looks okay. Looked like a like Ace. What was it? What was it called? What's this called? Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney. Yeah, looks like that a little bit. And No More Heroes 3, which I've never. They've recently released the first two games on the Switch, which so if they're on sale anytime soon, I might dabble and have a look. And that's about it really. There's a couple other bits, but all in all, you got a lot out of that for 50 minutes.
Yeah, so, because usually the Nintendo events are like 20 minutes.
Well, they have been recently.
Yeah,
they have been recently, but they've I think they've been able to cram in quite a bit this time around, because you know we're at the point, I suppose, where development's picked up a bit following, you know, all the changes that people have had to make because of the pandemic, and and on top of that, not everything in 2021's laid out properly yet. They still haven't really laid out anything that's in Q3 or Q4 yet.
Yeah.
So, and there was no, you know, Breath of the Wild 2 we should hear about later this year apparently. and we might hear some more on Bayonetta 3. And what was the other one? And Metroid Prime 4, possibly. But, you know, we still got E3 to go yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to sort of put all their eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Keep your audience wanting more. If
Exactly.
the game's not ready yet either, you're not really entertaining people too much by putting out more information and then just telling them to wait another 2 years or something.
Yeah, I like the fact that Nintendo sit on stuff until it's ready, almost ready before releasing it. It kind of means you're nicely surprised and you don't have to wait too long. So yeah, thumbs up from me.
Cool.
That was the news.
That's all the news. All Nintendo news this week.
Yeah, get in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's all good in the hood. Right, so who's going first? Darren, tell us what you've been playing, my man.
Right, new games.
New games.
I actually had new games to talk about.
Holy shit.
But before that...
Old games.
Yeah.
So I won't mention the usual stuff I play, because you've all heard it a million times at the moment, and there's nothing new going on in those. Apart from Valhalla. Valhalla did have its large content drop this week, which ended up being a patch for the free River Raids update, which is basically a new piece of content they've added to the game where you can go to another part of the sort of like the area of your base. So as long as you've started the game and you've gotten to England, and you've set up your own Jorm's Viking Hall, which is basically like a mercenary sort of thing where you can like hire and fire other people's sort of like created lieutenants and stuff that you take out with you on raids, etc. As long as you've got that set up, you can go down to the docks and speak to these 2 other new people that have arrived, and go out into 3 new areas of the game world to sail around and pillage, basically. It was supposed to be like super replayable content, and it is, I suppose, to a degree, because there's like upgrades you can get for your ship. There's armor sets you can get from completing this. So if you basically follow the main storyline through and complete all 3 different areas, you can get St. George's armor, which is like a full-on sort of like armor set with like the St. George's cross on it and all that sort of stuff. It looks pretty cool, actually. I like it. Only slight downside is when it's upgraded to the maximum rarity, the cape turns from being white into being red.
Oh, weird.
Which is kind of a bit, because I've kept mine at sort of like silver rarity at the moment, or I can't remember what it is nickel or whatever it is, rarity, just because I think it looks cool like that. I think they're going to be adding a transmog feature to the game like we've had in Odyssey and stuff, where you can basically just make your armor take on the appearances of other sets you own.
Oh, that's cool.
Such. Which is always good for those games, because you might like a piece of armor for the way it plays, but you might like the aesthetic look of another set that you want to roll around with. So yeah, I basically went in, I played through this. You go across and you raid either small military forts for basically materials that you can then take back with you to upgrade your little new mercenary hall that you build, and you can buy upgrades for your ship or upgrade your hold of your ship so you can actually hold more materials to take back with you from doing your raids, which is easily the best thing to upgrade first off, because at first I think you can only hold about 200 materials, and then the next one's 300 materials, the one after that's 400, and obviously the more you can get each trip, it's just a bit easier for you to save up for some of the other stuff. So yeah, you raid either little castle forts or big forts, or little villages to get rations. The rations things I didn't really bother with, because you don't find any raw materials there, and you don't find any they're foreign materials, not raw materials, and you don't find any of the mythic armor pieces or stuff there either. They're only in the military bases. Interesting thing is after you've done a few of these different raids, the alert level goes up, so you start getting fortifications going across the waterways.
Oh,
so if
cool.
anyone's played the game, you get them big chains that end up going across, and stupid bandit camps that set up archery stations and stuff, so you have to jump off and kill them all before you can sort of hike it further down the river. So, like, yeah, the alert level goes up, and also once you've raided somewhere, you've got to wait about 1 or 2 turns for them to rebuild that place, because obviously it's been devastated and there's no one there, so there's nothing to actually raid from it. So you can skip between the 3 different places. There's new skills to unlock as well on some of the locations, which is easy to see because you'll go into the map and you'll see like the little gold dot to show you there's a ability or something of interest in that zone to get. So you start off with 2 places. One of them's the River Severn. I can't remember the name of the other one.
Okay. Is this free DLC, Darren, or?
Yeah, it's completely free. Yeah, and it's going to be there the whole time. It's not.
It's not timed.
It's not just timed. No.
Awesome.
Which is I think this is basically a skeleton they've laid down, and they're going to constantly add stuff to this game mode over time, because the map for it looks like they could easily add other maps to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, like I was going to say, you'll get the first 2 maps. On those 2 maps is secret documents. Once you collect both of those, you'll unlock the 3rd location, which is where there's a lot of boss fight against someone there to get like a special weapon as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I think someone, pardon me, has done some poking and found there's other stuff for sale from the main vendor that isn't currently in the game. So I think for them to keep this as a replayable mode, they're going to just constantly add content to it. And it's a nice little distraction. You can go out and raid for about 45 minutes to an hour, come back, you get a few bits and bobs, get some XP and stuff, job done. Cool. And for free, it's not bad, to be honest. I mean, they supported Odyssey with like some pretty damn good free DLC over the time. So we'll see where it goes. I think they're going to do something else again for another event around Easter sort of time as well. So we'll see. But yeah, moving on to actual new stuff. This weekend I downloaded the Guilty Gear Strive beta.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Yes, this is like obviously the latest in the Guilty Gear series arc system. Basically, like probably the best looking 2D fighters on console at the moment, or on anything, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned.
Cool.
So yeah, it had issues at the start. Like everyone was like struggling to connect. It kept saying can't download R code, which not sure what the hell that actually means. But early Saturday morning, I thought I'll try again and I'll log in, because it was a timed one, so it was only open for a little while, and I got in, and I was actually quite surprised what you actually got in the beta. Okay. So you got access to pretty much every single character from the game's roster, bar 2, which was the previous one that was announced. I can't remember his name because he's a brand new character, and you didn't have the character that was announced, I believe, yesterday, which was Ino. So I don't know if you recall who that character is, Dan. It's like pretty much used to wear like a big red witch's hat and use a guitar.
No.
I'm watching a trailer with that character now.
Yeah, you'd probably recognise it if you saw it. Sort of a thing. I think it's been in there like as an end boss, I think in the first game, or very end game character.
Okay.
And then sort of became a regular throughout the series. But yeah, in this, you had access to all the characters, bar the 2 of them. You could do 1v1 against the computer. You could do training. You could obviously do online. You couldn't access the story or the time trials, or I think it was like survival or something else that was sort of like blocked off. But pretty much everything else, they were kind of like just go crazy, try and obviously bust the network and do all this, because a lot of these betas for fighting games, it's to basically make sure their network's code is up to scratch. And a lot of times they really aren't to a degree.
I love the art style on these games. It's absolutely beautiful.
It was awesome.
Yeah, this is coming out, I believe, on PS4, PS5, and PC.
Okay. Because I've noticed there's been a sale on the old Guilty Gear games going on PC. I've got Guilty Gear Xrd Sign Revelator on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they're all great. Like you can get some of them dirt cheap. Like I believe Revelator 2 was on PSN the other week for like £5.80 or something. Absolutely stupid. And you're just like, for what you get. Like, I know those games aren't everyone's cup of teas, and to be honest, Guilty Gear is quite a technical fighter. It's not just a button mash. There's quite a lot of different things to learn on it. But I enjoyed what I played. Maybe it's because I never played the last one as much. It looks like they might have scrimped on the super moves to a degree.
Is it another one of those fighters? Darren, is it another one of those fighters where they release an initial roster and then they're like, oh, here's some more characters for like 20 quid?
Its arc system works. It's definitely going to be like that.
Be doing that.
They've literally announced and said this is the initial launch roster.
Oh, God.
Rather than actually, and it's kind of annoying because there's a ton of favourites missing, and you know they're going to be rolling them out bit by bit, and it's an annoying tactic because I know why they do it. They try and keep these games as relevant for as long as possible, and to keep people playing them and keep the online going for as long as possible, they just drip feed characters every couple of months to keep people playing it, to keep people coming back and everything, and
but it ends up
and
being
for
like
esports and all that kind of stuff. And they are, in my opinion, fighting games, and to a degree, like sports games and some other games, they're the biggest cash grabs, like for some of these companies.
Yeah, I mean, it just ends up being like a 200 quid plus game, you know, if you buy the characters. And
they're not too bad on those, to be honest. I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ kind of has like 3 season passes, but you can pick the game up for like 15 quid, and then the season passes
cheaper
are
than that.
Yeah, the season passes are in sales for like half price. So eventually, if you hold off on them for a little while, you can pretty much get the game plus almost the game's characters again for like 30-40 quid. It's just how long you're willing to sort of hold off. But I really like what I played. I'll be picking this up on PS5, although you can get the PS4 version and get a free upgrade to 5. But I just would rather get it on the 5 version because I haven't got many 5 actual games at the moment.
I can't imagine it looking
any different.
It's the same price. I can't imagine it looking any different because it's that cartoony art style.
Crisper. Yeah, it'll look crisper. That's mainly what it'll be down to.
It'll load quicker as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, although when it comes to the online, you've both got to load in at the same time, otherwise it's going to cause issues.
Yeah.
The other thing I did have a little muck around with, it was kind of weird. So in a lot of the Arxie's sort of online games, they have like the online components. And they're kind of now turned into little lobbies where you move an avatar around and interact with the other people, and you'd go off to little arcade machines to queue up for like 1v1s and all these other bits and bobs. Well, the one in this one, you create like a pixel dude.
Right.
Almost like a sort of like indie pixel game. It was kind of weird. You got to choose like whether you wore a hat or t-shirt, the colour of it, your eyes, your type of trousers and shoes, and you do unlock all weird clothing and items for these avatars and stuff as you play through the game, and you do these silly little things. Like there was, I think, fishing modes are what you use in a majority of them, where you'll win matches, you'll win coins, and then you use those coins to go fishing, and you get random items like new colours for characters and things like that. It's kind of like the gacha aspect, which is obviously kind of popular, but hey. Like I say, I enjoyed it. It's got some interesting, cool little mechanics. So each of the levels now look like they've got like 3 parts to the stage. So if you do certain moves really close to a character at the edge of a screen, you'll smash them in midair, and they'll go like flying back into like the next part of the stage.
Like in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, sort of like Mortal Kombat did,
Dead or Alive.
and Dead or Alive did it, and other things. But yeah, they've now added it. Yeah, they've now added it to this as well, and it adds to the sort of cool cinematic feel to it and everything. And like, I'm really interested to see what they're doing with the story, because like some of the way the fights start, where you get the camera panning around them and they have a little talk to each other and stuff like that. It's all very sort of like anime, shall we say?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The only thing I've maybe got slightly against this, to a degree, is some of the characters look great, but then there's other characters where I fully think their designs were better in previous games. And I do know that the devs have actually said, oh, well, we're trying to westernize it a little bit to try and get in more of a fan base. And it's like...
Yeah, no, but you can sell that. You can sell the costumes at a premium.
Yeah, that's not really why we play your games. Like, if we wanted more of a Western game, we'd play more of a Western game. Like, kind of a thing. And it is quite hard for newcomers to come into like certain fighting games, because they are very technical.
Yeah.
And the horrible tightrope they have to walk as a developer of a fighting game is trying to balance that accessibility for new players, but still keep it challenging and very technical for proper fighting game people.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we have people in our community, like, is it Hurricane?
Yeah.
Like, take fighting games like proper seriously, you know what I mean? Like, learn all of the input, the frame data, and all of that kind of stuff. You kind of have to try and satisfy both groups, because there are certain games that have tried to appeal to a new audience, but they've kind of pushed more of their hardcore audience away from it.
Yeah.
And it's usually the hardcore audience that keeps that game going and gets the hype around it and gets it involved in like the online tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, anyway, I've waffled on long enough about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's out, I believe. Is it in April? Early April?
Is it April? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's early April game.
Soon, then.
Yeah, so you've got that and Outriders out in the same month. So that's going to be a pretty awesome month. And the last game I'll really talk about is Persona 5 Strikers.
Oh, I've got this coming tomorrow.
See, now, this really isn't what I was expecting in a good way.
What were you expecting, first of all?
I expected just a straight-up Musou game.
Right.
What's a Musou game? Please explain it to people.
Well, like a Dynasty Warriors, just like a main, like, full-on hack and slash. Like, you have a little bit of Persona stuff here, and then it goes into the where you're running around beating the shit out of everyone.
Right.
This is almost an RPG styled game with Musou moments.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so there is a ton of story and text and stuff to go through in this, like when you're actually playing it.
All right. Okay.
So if you like Persona or Persona 5, this is going to be right down your alleyway, because it really does feel like a full out, true and true Persona game.
Does it feel like a sequel?
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, it does. Yes.
That's what I've heard as well.
Yeah, the storyline continues straight on after the original game.
Oh, that's cool.
You come back to the city on summer break, and then you hook up with all of the old members of the Phantom Thieves again.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, something happens, and then you're basically drawn back into the kind of stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you go around the map, you explore all these familiar locations. Like I said, this the same characters. I think it's the same voice actors as well. Doing it in the stylization of the game is like straight up Persona, like the pause menus, the characters.
Is it awesome?
It's fucking great. It's really good.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
That's what I want to. I read a review. I read a review of it about a month ago, and they were saying exactly what you're saying. So I've basically been very quiet, hoping, and
yeah. I mean, it's been out like a year in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've had to wait a long time for it, but like I might have said before, I think with the fact of Persona 5 Royal also coming out, and obviously we had the pandemic hit shortly afterwards, it kind of delayed this release, and I think they didn't want to release it too close to Royal because it might confuse people.
Yeah, because Royal was just like just the original game with some added content, wasn't it?
Yeah, I look at Persona Royal as like a director's cut with an extra character thrown in.
Yeah,
to a degree. But this isn't based off Royal. This is based off of the original Persona 5.
Good.
So yeah, like I said, you've got all your usual RPG stuff. You can go and buy drinks out of vending machines that will sort out your health and your mana or magic sort of stuff. You've got your stat screens and stuff, all done in the fantastic sort of style that it does. A lot of the music from Persona 5 is still in the game.
Brilliant.
So they reused a lot of the music, and there's like rejazzed some of it and remixed it up a bit.
Is it PlayStation exclusive as well?
No,
it's
Switch,
PlayStation, Switch, and PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Tomorrow you'll be able to get it on PC, mate, if you really want to.
It's out tomorrow on PC.
Well, I think it might. See, I got confused because I got my copy slightly early, but then I heard the game did actually release on the 19th digitally. It was just the physical release that wasn't coming out until like
the digital version of the Switch is out tomorrow.
So it's out, it's out tomorrow on PC.
Yeah, unless it was like a digital deluxe version on something that was available early somewhere. But I did see talk about that, but whatever. So yeah, you'll go through all your story RPG stuff, and then you'll get into the combat. And a lot of the combat is based in what they now call jails.
Right.
So you no longer have the castles from the original game. You now have jails, but they kind of work roughly in the same way. So you've got your usual shadows and that going around. You can move around the levels freely with like the camera as well, so it's not a fixed camera angle or anything like that either in a lot of these locations. And you can sneak up and do surprise attacks on the enemy like you could normally, which basically gives you like a and go first in battle. But obviously in this as well, it knocks them all into surprise mode, and you can like mash the circle button and do like a sort of like gang up attack on the enemies to basically take them out. You can use personas as well in the game, and they work kind of similar to how Final Fantasy VII did it. Not exactly the same, but although the game's like free action all the time, it's not turn based or anything like that. If you hold down certain buttons, you can then bring up your menu of personas, but time freezes while you do that.
Okay.
Then you can select the persona you want and the ability, the ability, so you can like lower the enemy's defenses and stuff in that area, and then it'll show you the cone of effect.
Oh, cool.
And then you use the move, and then bingo, it comes out, hits everyone, and you can just carry on whooping. When you're not in combat, you can tag out between up to 4 members. So it's like your different up, down, left, right, and your D-pad will switch you between your different characters. So you get a nice little animation coming with the other character tagging in. So you don't have to obviously run around as the main protagonist all the time. You can switch out whoever you want. Each character's got their own individual fighting style. Okay. So obviously, like the main character uses like knives and daggers, and then you've got Ryuji who uses like baseball bats. One of the new characters that's brand new to the game uses yo-yos. And if you time the button pushes to catch the yo-yo as it comes back, you do increased damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you also have like team up finisher moves that you can do on people, where it's like the old show's over, and it does all the stylized sort of thing of everyone jumping in and beating the crap out of them and whatnot. So You can also sneak. I'm not too sure if I remember it too much in the original, where you can like jump between different vantage points.
All right. Okay. No, that wasn't.
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so obviously it's kind of hard to remember because both of them kind of feel so complementary of each other in a way, the way that they're done. Like, you'd almost think this was Atlas, but I can fully imagine members from the team of Atlas like really overseeing this to make sure it was done correctly.
I mean, all the art style is the same, isn't it? So.
It just shows the growth in Omega Force as a developer, that they are spanning off and doing these other branch off series for other things and keeping perfectly to their styles, but still keeping their sort of Musu style of gameplay with it. So yeah, while you're fighting, you can look up at the stop and you'll see like street lamps and stuff like that, and you can quickly jump up on top of them.
Bit like
and
Batman.
Then while you're up there, kind of, and then while the fight's going on below you, you can push the thing, it's triangle, and you'll jump down off the thing and do like a surprise spin attack on everything, which does a lot more stun damage.
Okay.
And stuff. But yeah, I was in one of the jails, the first one. I haven't fully finished it yet. And I was in there for a good hour or so. But you do get the point where you can jump in and out of the jails to sort of like leave and regen your health or buy new bits and bobs and then jump back in. And the game does actually say there's no punishment or anything if you do actually want to play it that way. Whereas obviously in the original game, you're on a constant strict time limit.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Persona games or just even curious about like the kind of game it is, I fully recommend checking it out.
Cool.
Awesome. Nice one, mate. Thank you. This looks good.
I'd like to see what you think of it, Dan, when it obviously turns up.
Yes, well, it'll be here tomorrow. I'll probably not get a chance to play it until later in the week.
So when did you order yours, Dan? Then did you pre-order it ages ago? Then
ages ago, yeah.
This has been off my radar completely. It looks great. I think I'm going to get this.
Yeah, I think you'll love it, Webby. Like I say, it's got interesting new gameplay to it that feels really fun, and obviously still keeps a lot of the old RPG-esque elements of the original. And obviously you're revisiting characters that people like.
Yeah, I mean, I love Persona 5. I was just really pissed off when they brought out that other version, that at full
Royal.
I was just like, why? I fucking hate it when games companies do that. It really just annoyed me.
Champion edition.
This looks good. Yeah, but this looks awesome. So all good.
Yeah, that's me done.
Wicked, man.
Cinema Dan.
Yes, hello. Should we talk about it? Games night, or the gamer night we had on Friday, because we haven't touched upon it yet, have we?
No, it was fucking brilliant. It was a really good turnout. I'm really happy with that. So big thank you to everyone who joined
in or popped in and said hello.
Yeah, so we had a few people pop in and say hello. So Trip McNeely came in for a little bit. And then he had to go because his missus and kids came home. The joys of being a family man. But so we started off. Well, I didn't join till 9, but the guys tried to get into Wreckfest, and the servers weren't having any of it. So we all jumped into Battlefield 5, and for a lot of people, it was the first time they'd actually played it. And we had 3 squads going all on the same team. And poor old Ruski on the opposing team, all on his own.
couldn't get onto our side at all.
No, it's that classic Battlefield problem, isn't it? I mean, the squads can only have 4 people per squad, so it was a fight to all get on the same team. And then, but we did, as I say, we managed to get 3 full squads going on our team, and then Ruski did try really hard to get onto our team, but he just couldn't, so he was stuck.
He dropped out the server and couldn't get back in.
Oh yeah, he was stuck in a queue, wasn't he?
Yeah. So after a little while, we got words from Ruski that Wreckfest was working again. So we all headed over to there and did some car banger racing, basically. And which
Oh,
was
so fun.
Added a hilarity. They got an interesting function in there whereby the room before the race can volunteer, or they can nominate someone to kick, and if there's enough people wanting to kick them. So Webby was being victimizing various people who won the previous race, and hence and then the 360G lot basically just piled in and kicked all the winners out.
Yeah.
So.
And my missus was sitting next to me going, "Oh, you're so mean, you're so mean." And then one bloke voted to kick me, and we were like, "Right, we're not having that," so we all voted to kick him out, and he got kicked.
Well, we just followed suit.
but
yeah, it was entertaining.
It was funny. Just before we move on to Wreckfest, I just want to say, really impressed with Battlefield 5. Mm-hmm. The multiplayer was ran seamlessly. We all got in, so apart from Ruski, the graphics and gameplay, a lot of fun, so I want to do that again. But Wreckfest, Dan, I think that had the most laughs because...
It did, yeah. I think we need to spend a bit more time with it to work out what the functions are, what we can do with it.
Yeah.
Because
I've been playing some single player this week on it, just getting my practice in.
Practice? What, ramming people?
Yeah. So, but because... there's going to be another gamer night this Friday coming on Wreckfest again from 8 p.m. So that's Friday the 26th of February, 8 p.m. If I'm not on, join Peebs' party because Peebs is going to be starting at 8 o'clock. I sometimes can't get on that early because of the kids. So feel free to join the party. The party will be open. I did get a few messages on Twitter this week saying that people couldn't get into the party chat. I don't know why.
Because it was full up.
Was it full? I think you can have like how many people can you have in a party? I don't know.
8, isn't it?
Or was it 10? No, it's more than that now.
We had about 8, 9, 10 people in there at one point. I don't know. It was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get into the party, just ping us a message and we'll send you an invite. Just to get in with us because it is a lot more fun when we can all chat to each other. But I love the options in Wreckfest because you can do normal races, but obviously because it's Destruction's RB all smashing into each other anyway. And then we actually found the mode where it's just a big ring and it's just the last man standing, and that was bloody hilarious, wasn't it?
It was. I think originally we decided to opt for racing sofas around first of all.
That was a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah, a bit painful. But then we upped the ante. Well, but we had the guy whose server we were in. He was in control, so he opted to make the race 20 minutes long, and we were racing around bus. I had a bus at one point, just ramming into people, trying to get as much score as possible. So 20 minutes of monotonous smashing up.
Yeah.
It needs a bit of work, if I'm being honest, but we had fun. So
yeah, I mean, some old faces turned back up again. I mean, Rubbish Username joined us. I haven't spoke to him in, it feels like years. So it was really good to hear Rubbish's voice again. To know he's doing well and still gaming strong.
He's getting old though. He's losing his special powers. He must have had a haircut.
Must have done.
Samson.
But yeah, I mean, it's great because it felt to me, Dan, I don't know, it felt like the 360G of old, where we'd all hook up for gamer nights and just have a blast. I mean,
every single night it was.
I mean, it just feels like we hadn't done a gamer night in ages.
Yeah,
where loads of people turned up, and it was just good fun for everyone to meet up and have a laugh again, and it'd be nice to do that every Friday if we can.
Okay, well, we're doing fuck all anyway between now and June, so why not?
True, yeah.
So cool, yeah. So that was gamer nights. So join in. What else was there? What else have I been doing? Yes, other stuff. Where do I start? I did some more Bowser's Fury. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but working through that slowly but surely. There was a game I missed out on the Nintendo news, which was announced, which was more like a compilation. It was Capcom Arcade Stadium. which
oh yes, I downloaded this as well.
I've bought it. I've bought all the coin ops.
Oh
all
my God, 30
nice.
quid.
What's on it? Is
it 30 quid for 30 coin ops?
That's good. That's good.
That's good. It's good, and they're all arcade perfect.
Fantastic.
They're all. How do I say? If you guys have seen the how do I say the menu system, the layout, how it all works on there at all, because you can actually download it now and get 2 free games free of charge, and that's I think 1943 and
Ghosts.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, well, that's only free for another couple of days.
So, get on it.
So you need to download
Probably
it
by
now.
the time you hear this, yeah, it's gone.
So you need to download it now, otherwise you're gonna have to pay for it. So
get on it, man.
Yeah, but 1943 is always free. Yeah, I mean, Dan, I like the layout too. I think it's nice.
Yeah, the only thing I will say, I have to have we go through and you kind of like you've got this virtual arcade with all the coin ops lined up next to each other, and you scroll between them, or of all the ones you have unlocked or about to unlock or whatever. And the idea really is that you go into each one, you simulate and put in a coin in, and then you present with loads of options, and you can play the game as you would sit down on a normal arcade, with all all the difficulty levels as per as you would expect. And then there's other modes, like there's world rankings, online rankings, where you can do a timed mobile score attack, which goes up against other players across the world. And there are parameters for reaching in order to qualify, and I'm a bit shit at the moment on some of them, so lots of practice still there. But you've got all sorts on there, really. You've got, I think, but at the same time, you've got some repeats. So you've got 3 different versions of Street Fighter 2 on there. You've got the 1943 games. You've got some oddities, which I thought were pretty cool, like Forgotten Worlds, which I haven't played in years.
Is that really weird one on there?
Yeah.
God, I can't remember what it's called. Where you play as like 2 goblins with like bows and arrows, and you run around. It was like a part of a trilogy. It was like something Wanderers, I think it was, like Don't Pull and something else.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just going to have a quick look.
AVP?
No, it's not on there, man.
Oh.
Captain Commando. What else we got? What was that? What's that one? I'm just going through a couple of these right now. Warriors of Fate. Powered Gear. What the fuck is that? I haven't got a clue. Cyberbots.
Knights of the Round?
No. Battle Circuit.
But there's still a ton they can stick on there.
Yeah, then. Geiger Wing 1944, Pro Gear. I mean, you don't have to buy all these up front. You can buy individual packs for about $11.99 each. My favourite one, where was it? I can't bloody remember. Anyway, there's one on there which I thought was a really, really good shooter. Anyway.
UN Squadron?
I don't think so. Oh, no, it's not yet. Give me a second. Oh, fuck it, I don't know. I've just gone through it. But yeah, I've got lots. I'm gonna probably hook up my my Hori stick at some point and get stuck in at the weekend. But there's all sorts of bits and bobs to unlock as well as you play different games, and you get like credits or kind of like points you can use to unlock borders you can put around the arcades and view modes and all different kinds of options.
Posters and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, it's a pretty snazzy package. I mean, as I said, I think 30 quid for 30 arcade classics or Capcom is value for money, personally. I mean, it's a lot to ask up front, but if you're into that kind of shit, and I am, it's all good.
Yeah, I saw Nintendo Arcade playing it, so...
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually charge sort of at least sort of 4 or 5 quid for these games individually, don't they, in the old sort of arcade stuff on consoles and stuff these days. So for 30, if they're £1 each.
Yeah. I know. Exactly. There's a few repeats, but yeah, have a look at it and see what you fancy. As I said, at some point, I guess it'll be on sale at some point. But, you know, I'm up for a bit of arcade action. It's all good. Cool. Other stuff I've been playing. The other new game I got hold of, and it was originally a free to play for the weekend, and that's Fuser. I played on Xbox. The what was it? What's the best way to describe it? It's like it's not like DJ Hero at all. It's more it's more like it's not really kind of headlining your own festival. It's what is it? It's a mix simulator. It's a DJ mix simulator.
Yeah, it's a unique animal, isn't it?
It's weird because when you start playing, because it was free, I didn't really. I started playing it on Friday. Was it Friday night? Yeah, Friday night, just after the gamer night. I went out. I was up to bloody 4 o'clock in the morning playing it. Jesus Christ!
Oh my goodness!
I know. I proper insomnia that night. But then again, I did have a nap and I was fueled on caffeine. So, yeah, it's when you start playing it, you kind of. I'm not too sure about this because you're going through the opening festival stage, so to speak, or the opening kind of section, and it kind of slowly drip feeds you what you can and can't do. And at first you think it's pretty limited, and then all of a sudden there's a eureka moment when you go, holy shit, and it all opens up and you realise the complexity and what you can do. So I was playing it earlier. I was knocking out some banging tunes. Jesus Christ!
You can actually create your own loops and stuff, I believe, in the actual proper game and that.
I haven't been particularly clear about how it works. Is that I mean, I used to DJ in pubs, and I was known as Captain Crossfade. But my sense of mixing was kind of like
being a blender.
Yeah, blender. I was basically my act was basically punk rock, techno, and pop. That was I used to play. That's all I used to play. I was pretty good at it as well, to be honest with you. But that was a lifetime ago. That was. But anyway, so I was quite keen to play this, and the idea behind it is that every single track on there, which is real life tracks, they each have different kind of components, which have kind of been distilled in different colours on this one: red, blue, yellow, and green, so to speak. And the idea is that it's like a combination of a puzzle game mixed with, I suppose, a beat mix game as well to a degree. And the idea being, and I think what does help on this is it's like a sense of what would work together, and a kind of it helps to have a little bit of a kind of like know-how of what the song is and what works with what, and how do I say it without sounding too snobby? Like a fucking taste of music. I was I was listening to there's a section there's a whole social channel on there, and the idea being is that there's weekly competitions, or I'm not sure how frequent they are, but people upload their mixes on, and I was looking through some of them earlier, and Jesus Christ, there was some awful fucking mixing, but then again, there's people mixing like styles like hardcore, happy house EDM, just blaring out hideous music as far as I'm concerned. But there's me who was doing like techno and hip hop mixes earlier, and they sounded fucking amazing. So horses for courses, I suppose. There's a shop on there, which I have bought 4 songs. I haven't.
You have actually got the full game. It's not the demo.
I forgot to mention after. But it was early unlocked for 3 days. And last night I crumbled and I got a third off, I think. I've got it for about 38 quid as opposed to 60, which I thought was a bit steep.
It's still quite an expensive title, isn't it?
It is. You're paying for a lot of... you're paying for the licenses, essentially. So you get a load of games. And even on when you do play the game, it'll take a while to unlock everything. Even with all the tracks. So I bought 4 songs as well. So I'm kind of like picking at this one because it's hard to get into, really. What did I buy? I bought EMF's Unbelievable,
nice.
Eck and the Bunnymen, Lips Like Sugar. What else did I get? I got Sugar Hill Gang, Apache, and Gravel Pit by the Wu-Tang Clan. So you can get a sense of what I was DJing earlier. And the only thing, there's a couple of bits in it which I don't like. For some reason, it insists on putting country music into it, and country music is by and large, modern country music is by and large dog shit on toast. They do have a bit of Dolly Parton in there, Jolene, which is good if you get the drift. But anything, Shania Twain can fuck off. So yeah, telling him to write me a song, and the store as well. It's like there's some hideous songs in there.
The game's quite expensive though, Dan, isn't it?
It is nice to have a diverse list like that. That game has got quite a lot.
What I did learn, because you're not the problem that I suppose you had with Rock Band or DJ Hero or even Guitar Hero, is that it was you had one song, and because you can lift certain beats or bass lines or pianos out of certain songs and drop them into others, you don't have to listen to so and so's vocal if you don't want to. So the idea is you can actually build up some decent tracks from bits and bobs here and there and make them sound completely different. I'm having a great time with it.
It's quite expensive though.
Oh yeah, it is no doubt about it. That's why I bit the bullet last night. But I was playing it, I want to get more into this, and 60 quid for the base game, digital download. There's no physical version of it. I know. Yeah. £100 for the VIP version, which I was like, but with that you get a load of games, songs, tracks, and I was looking through the tracks, and I'm like, don't like that, and I'm slowly but surely buying odd here and there. And the next one I will get, and this is for Mr. Peeves, and it's Bananarama Venus, and I will be buying that at some point. So yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It's a little bit fiddly. And it's going to take a little while to get used to it, but I'm gonna persevere and get on with it. It's good. I'm enjoying it. Cool, bro. Cool, bro. Yeah, no worries, man. Other stuff.
Any Phil Collins?
Phil Collins can no.
Mano is asking if
I don't think there is a single. I think there might be one.
There isn't one. Oh, I checked. No, there isn't one, and I'm not going to even purchase it. They can fuck off, as far as I'm concerned. And then what else was there? Oh yeah, I've been playing through Gears 5 with our very own Mr. Stuntmaster.
Stunties? What? PlayStation fanboy's been playing Xbox?
Well, he's a video game connoisseur to a degree who likes playing on PlayStation, and
I know, I'm just jesting.
Yeah, I know, and you do, yeah. Give him a break. Give him a break. Because the pair of us are shit at Gears. I'll tell you that now.
Well, I saw you both playing it, and I've re-downloaded it, and fuck me, it takes up like 140 gig of hard drive space. That thing.
Does it?
Insane, yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, you must have a 4K version downloaded or something.
Oh yeah, it's PC.
Yeah.
PC Master Race, mate.
It's not as big as a regular Xbox.
Yeah, to download the extra texture packs. And obviously the DLC, the Hive, because I've not played the Hive Busters, so that's what I want to play.
That's okay.
So.
That's about 4 hours worth of content. It's not too bad, actually. It's quite refreshing. It's not repetitive, and you go to new areas, and you get a whole load of new characters, and you get a returning classic character as well. We don't want spoil here.
No, I mean the game was glitched for me because I looked at my achievements and it said I hadn't completed the game, because you get an achievement for finishing the game, and then it's like, right, I was thinking, I'm sure I completed it with Peebs. Anyway, I reinstalled it and I loaded up the game just to go on the main menu and add more downloads. As soon as I went onto the main menu, the achievement for me completed the game pinged. Hey. How fucking weird is that? That's so random. But yeah.
Hey. Nice, yeah. Well, the thing is, I've played a lot of the multiplayer on Gears 5. A lot.
Yeah.
And I was actually further down the pecking order in terms of the narrative on the story completed than Paul. So he had to replay a load of shit to get us up to speed again. So we got to the matriarch, kicked her ass.
Cool.
After we had to nub it down to beginner because she was kicking it. She was a little bit tricky. Yeah. And then now we're just going to rinse it on beginner for the rest of the game, because
might as well. Yeah.
It might as well. Fuck it, don't care. Otherwise, you just die. We were dying too much, and the problem with playing 2-player, one of you gets into the rhythm and the other one dies, and vice versa, and it's like, so we might as well just sit back, and not die and have
just
fun.
Enjoy it. Yep. That's what it's about.
Yeah, good man. It's good. And other stuff. Last thing really is that I watched all 6 Resident Evil films last week. Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're so terrible. I fucking love them.
I love the Resident Evil films. So some of them are CGI, aren't they?
No, not those ones. I'm talking about the ones with Mila Jovovich. The ones directed by, four of them are directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Two of them aren't. In a quick capsule review, the first one is fucking awful. Dated really badly.
But it's still the best one.
No, it's not. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst. I tell you that now, man. The first Resident Evil, it kind of set a precedent. It kind of didn't know what it would become. So
I was upset over that first one.
Why?
Because I was thinking I was all going to be in the mansion, and then within about 10 minutes, you're in this underground fucking base of the mansion.
It's
I was like, oh,
badly edited. It's got blaring, awful, heavy rock and techno blaring out the mix. It's not gory. It's all badly cut away when someone gets shot or eaten. It's terrible. And the liquor, fucking hell, man. I mean, I could have drawn something better with pen and paper. The second
with
one...
your toes.
With my toes, exactly, yeah. The second one's not much better. It's got Nemesis in it and he basically goes around going stars, but it's not CG. It's a bloke in a fucking rubber suit.
Yeah, with wearing bin liners, don't forget.
Yeah, pretty much. So Mila has a fight with him, and she is literally kicking a man like a Guy Fawkes guy who's and he's literally kicking the shit out of him. And it's really badly edited again, and it's really badly plotted, and it's fucking terrible. Number 3, however, is actually looks like a fucking film. It's actually quite good. It was probably the strongest out of the lot. Number 3. I'm going through this quickly, by the way. Everyone's falling asleep. But what I will say is that when part 4 kicks in, 4 onwards, the whole series ramps up a gear. It knows exactly what it is. Paul W.S. Anderson's come in. He's learned a bit more about fucking directing. He's learned. He's got these 3D cameras in tow, and he doesn't give a shit anymore. He's going to have fun. And the rest of the franchise, holy shit, it's fucking nonsense, gibberish. But the editing's better, the gore's better, the action's better, and the plot is still shit. I fucking love those movies.
Is the fourth one the one where they pulled the guy in from Resident Evil 5, I believe it was, with a big hammer?
Yes. So he's in it, yeah.
At the beginning of the film.
Right. It's in the middle of the film, but you also see the guys with the big hammer again in number 5. Number 5 is actually Resident Evil Greatest Hits, when all the dead characters from the previous films come back as clones. Oh, so it's every single film's like a fucking level in a video game. So the problem, if you just watch one of them in isolation, yeah, you're not getting the full effect. If you watch all 6 of them back to back over 2 or 3 days, it's like watching a video game because they get more and more ridiculous. And come the final part, it's like, come on, the payoff's great, and they're all shit, but I fucking love them. There you go.
Cool.
And Nicky says 3 has too much sands. Yes, it does, but it's fine. That's me done.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm guessing it's my turn.
I think so.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be very long at all, to be honest. So, been playing a little bit of Valheim with H-Doob from the community. Our base is looking awesome. So we've now unlocked building stone walls and stone buildings, etc. So we've knocked down our wooden walls around our base, and we've made our base bigger. And we're in the process of building a stone wall around our base, and then we're going to knock down our wooden shack and build a stone castle.
That'll keep out the bad guys.
Yeah.
How high is your wall?
It's we need to make it higher, mate. But the problem is
they can just climb over it, can they?
We are having to mine. Well, you have to get resources, mate. A bit like in Minecraft. So we're having to get our pickaxes out and get stone. So it
sounds like a job. It's
taking a while. We've explored a little bit of the map. We've done the first 2 bosses now, and that second boss was fucking hard. We've unlocked the 3rd boss. The 3rd boss is miles away. It's going to take us at least a day out of an epic ship ride. So we can actually build a long ship now. So we're going to build that at some point soon, and we're going to go on the epic journey. That's going to take a while. But yeah, we're absolutely loving this game. It's still in early access, and it's now sold over 3 million units, which is insane. So it just goes to show how popular this game is now. I'm loving it. I only play it online with HDub. So we organise. We have our, we organise when we're going to get on in the Discord room, and we have a blast. I mean, I know he's got his own single player world going as well, because he's put a lot of hours into it. But I kind of think this game is good in single player, but it's like anything, right? Anything is more fun with friends. So I would like more people in the community to join the 360G server when I'm on. I've seen Cram the Man's been playing it, and he said that he will join at some point when we can get on together. But if anyone else wants to play, just hit me up, and we'll play some Valheim.
Cool.
Nice.
So my excuse me. So my go-to game on the Xbox at the moment is Final Fantasy XII. And what I've been finding with this game is it's a great way to get my daughter to go to sleep. So she's been ill. The whole family's been ill. And so she's been up late at night coughing and all that sort of stuff. So I've had a few late nights, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning with trying to get her to sleep. So what I've been doing is sitting downstairs on the sofa with her on my lap, just giving her a cuddle and just playing some Final Fantasy XII. And I've been really enjoying it. I mean, it's really, really weird how I've done a U-turn on this, because back in the day when it came out on the PS2, I thought it was dog shit. So a little bit of a backstory: I played a hell of a lot of Final Fantasy XI back in the day, which is the MMO. It's actually got its 19-year anniversary this year.
Jesus.
And it's still going strong. It's a paid-for subscription, and it's still popular. People are still playing it. It was the first console MMO. It came out on PlayStation 2 online with that shitty network adapter.
Yeah.
It was 360 online, and it was cross-play between the two consoles as well, and obviously the PC. They actually stopped releasing new content for Final Fantasy XI in 2015, but it's just recently seen a surge of new players, obviously because the 19-year anniversary is coming up. So, because I'm in a few Final Fantasy groups on Facebook, and loads of people are talking about it at the moment. But anyway, the reason I didn't get on with this back in the day is because obviously I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy XI, and this is a very MMO feeling single player game, especially when it comes to the combat. And the combat had changed a hell of a lot from the traditional turn-based battle systems. It was the first one to kind of move away from that. So I just was like, no, fuck it, I'm not playing it, and went back to my Xbox fanboyism. Anyway, fast forward many years later, it's come to Game Pass and
on Xbox,
which is the greatest console ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really loving it. I've put about 15-20 hours into it now. It's got a great story. I was so confusing though at the beginning. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's a lot of politics involved. But you come to really like the characters. But what I'm finding is, like, you think at the beginning there's a main character who you always play as, but I'm finding that the other characters who are in your party are more of the main characters, in my humble opinion. Obviously I've not finished it. But I'm really loving it, and I'm really loving the MMO feel of you can choose the classes for all your party, which all like the classes that you'll find in like Final Fantasy 14 for example. So I'm really liking it. Yeah, so I'm not letting the graphics, the PS2 graphics, hold me back at all. Obviously, it's been slightly remastered. Just with the upscale, but yeah, I'm really digging it. It's a really good game. So if you've got Game Pass, then I would say give it a look.
What are the Chivas like?
They're okay. They're not amazing. I don't think so far, but they're all right. I'm not playing. This is one game on the Xbox. I'm not playing for the Chivos. I'm just, taking my time and just enjoying it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes. So just talking about Final Fantasy games, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 recently. I've looked on my Steam time, and in the last 2 weeks, I've played 42 hours of Final Fantasy 14. So I've been on it a lot. Probably a little bit of that's me AFK, but there we go. That's just how it is. But yeah, I'm really. It's really weird because I'm very on and off with 14. As you know, I do cancel my subs every now and again and have a bit of a break, but. At the moment, I'm really liking just that I found some more content I haven't done. Some of the raids I'm trying to catch up on, and some of the other bits and pieces. There's one thing I need to do where you play as a Gundam. So that's my next thing. So that's going to be pretty cool. And I've taken up a new job, which is fishing. I know it sounds really boring, but I was really weird. I spent many hours the other day just fishing in Final Fantasy while listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk. It was actually a really good episode, but yeah, I'm just finding lots of things to do in the game, and I'm just really enjoying it. And the communities, as I say, is really solid. Myself and Darren did these treasure hunts on it the other day. There's quite a lot of us on that, and I had a lot of fun on that. So yeah, I've been added to a group for that for future ones, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, I'm really loving it again at the minute. I'm pretty hooked on it right now, and long may that continue. Last game I want to talk about, just very quickly, is Stardew Valley. I'm still playing that a hell of a lot on the Switch at the moment. And I've just unlocked.
Who farted?
I'm sorry, I thought I was muted.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah. So I've just built myself a chicken coop in Stardew Valley. So I'm looking after me chickens now, and they're laying eggs for me. Yeah. Great. That's about as fun as it gets on Stardew Valley. And I'm doing about to say. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that game. It's really good. So my last piece of news of game playing is I'm doing a little bit of Chivo whoring at the moment on the old Xbox.
Yeah, we know.
And so what I did is, this is a top tip from me if you want to do a bit of Chivo whoring. Find Peebs' profile and just look at his games played. So I went on to Peebs' profile and I've rinsed shitloads of games that he's played. I'm not going to mention them because it's just take too long. But I'm going to have to mention it because I know one of you guys will probably be like, why didn't you mention that game, Mark? So I've been playing a game called Tell Me Why on Game Pass, and I know Peebs really enjoyed it because he mentioned it on the podcast before, probably when it was pissed up. It's in chapters, but all the chapters are part of Game Pass, and it reminds me of Life is Strange. I don't know if it's the same people or not because it says Xbox Game Studios. Okay, it is. It's okay. It's not great, to be honest. I'm just kind of like just playing it for the Chivos. I'm just following a walkthrough guide just so I find all the collectibles and max out the 1500 gamer score that's on this
1500?
game. Yeah, 1500 gamer score.
Might get in there, man.
So a little bit of the backstory, just so people know about it. The game's about twins. So when they were kids, they were twin girls, but one of them's transitioned into a man, so now they're a twin brother and sister. And it's about the transgender one growing up and how the mother didn't like it and was horrible to him, her, whatever you want to call her, him. It's all fucking confusing. But, and their horrible childhood, and their mum's now dead, and they go back to the house, and they've got to sell it, and it brings up all these memories, and blah, blah, blah. So it's actually quite an emotional game, but it's not But I feel like it's more like an interactive movie, if that makes sense, because there's not really a lot of gameplay. It's more just about conversation choices, etc. And then you've got these small environments that you can walk around, and then it's just more cutscenes and discussions. But yeah, if you want some easy gamer score, then that's one to rinse through. So yeah, that's what I've been playing, my dudes.
Okay.
Cool. Any questions?
Nope.
No. Okay. Cool. Questions from the community, then. I'm guessing. Questions from the community. I think we've had a few.
We had a few. Didn't he last week?
I know.
I think it's the Patreon issue, isn't it? They don't want to. What's the point in answering a question if I'm not going to hear it?
Yeah.
Well, perhaps they should all subscribe. Since last week's show, I've got an extra. I've got an extra 4 new patrons. I've got 24 patrons now.
Wow, that's all right.
Yeah. So actually,
you could buy us a pint next time we see you.
I can do. Yeah. So I can actually say thank you to these people. So we've got the new people are Perry, Matthew, Daz, and Hurt Gravy. There we go. So thank you very much, everybody. You're awesome. Yep. So
cheers.
Let's get in there. Cheers. Cheers, me dears. So the Patreon is getting there, getting more people, because obviously they want it every week.
Because we locked Peeves behind a paywall last week. That's what it was.
Yeah, of course. That's it.
Colin and Peeves behind a paywall.
Yeah, that's it.
Holding them ransom.
Yeah, that's it.
This week,
that's how you get them sucked in.
Yeah. You only got me and Darren this week. It's a tough fucking tit.
Yeah. Next week we'll probably have a guest on for the Patreon show, so you need to listen into that one. Okay. Colin Long asks, do any of you actually purchase games for the Xbox platform or just rely on Game Pass? Personally, I felt no need to buy games since subbing to Game Pass.
Obviously, I buy games still.
Yeah, I bought Fuser this week, so there you go.
I still buy games anyway because I can't. It's like an addiction. I mean, I've calmed down, but I'm finding Game Pass to be very good value for money. I'm finding it's got a lot of good quality games, and I was speaking to people about it, and some people say to me, "I don't play the games on Game Pass," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, obviously those games don't suit you, but I find myself just playing so many games on Game Pass. I mean." It's just a lot of choice on there, which I think is phenomenal. And I think, I'm a little bit more spoiled because I've got the PC Game Pass as well, and it's got different games than the Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, so it's absolutely great. So it's all good. I actually bought a PlayStation game today, which I said I would never buy, but I thought I'd have to get it for game. I had to get it for podcast purposes.
Stunty, he bought a fucking PlayStation game.
Yeah, I know. Well, Paul knows because we have our chat. But
what did you buy?
I bought Last of Us 2.
Oh, yeah. I wanted you to confess that.
So the reason I picked it up, it's on sale. It's dropped down to 15 quid.
Well, it doesn't mean you have to buy it.
I know, but I thought to myself, if I buy it...
You've watched it on YouTube.
I have, but I thought if I buy it, play it, and then I can just sell it, and I'll probably, get a tenner back for it. It's a £5. But the main reason I wanted to get there, I don't know when I'm going to have time to play it. Like, one... It's for podcast purposes. Gives me another chance to slag it off, and to prove all those people wrong who said to me, "Well, you can't judge it because you never fucking played it." Well, I'm gonna fucking play it. I might even stream it on Twitch just so you get my reactions. Now that would be fun, wouldn't it? And it's just pure curiosity. It's for 15 quid. Fuck it. Might as well. It just seems weird it's dropped to that price because PlayStation games normally don't drop that quick. I am wondering, and a few people did say to me it'll probably end up on PS Plus in a month or two if it's dropped to that price, but we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I've had to move my PlayStation upstairs into my man cave because my missus has been hogging the Xbox, playing Spiritfarer. She's absolutely loving it. So that's the one.
Isn't that actually looked quite good? I think is that the one where you sort of like it's cell shaded and you sort of like scoot about the environment, like
so you have a ship
like a hawk or something.
So you have a ship, and it's all like really nice graphics, and it's basically the spirits of people who are dead, and you've got to help them cross over. So you have to do little tasks for them and stuff. It's actually I've been watching her play it a little bit. She's pumped about 15 hours or so into it, and she's loving it. So yeah, I know. I think Rooski's completed it, and he rated it quite high as well. So, and that's on Game Pass. So that's another one to check out. Apparently, it's really, really good. I think it's on all platforms too. So, if you want to pick it up on your PlayStation or your Switch, I think you can do that too. So, yeah, it's all good in the hood. Anyway, other question. Colin sent us another question. With Xbox now starting to boost the frames per second of old titles and the auto HDR options, is there anything else you would like to see them add to improve games from previous generations?
But there is anything really.
No, I mean...
Yeah, you can't... There isn't too much else you can add. The sound's obviously always going to be pretty much identical, because the sound's always generally good anyway. And some of the soundtracks for certain games are iconic.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want obviously the graphics to improve, you're gonna have to go for a remake. You can't.
Well, you can go. Yeah, I suppose better netcode as well.
You can up res, and obviously improve the netcode and loading times and stuff. But yeah, and obviously HDR. But
yeah, I mean the sad thing is, like the Xbox 360. It's starting to fade out now, the games on that for multiplayer, because there was the news that the Halo servers for the 360 are being shut down, and I think there's going to be a lot of other titles slowly fade away, which is quite sad. Well, what I found quite annoying this week was I set up my launch day Xbox again so I could just play some older titles. I downloaded some 360 games. Like one of them was the Pac-Man Museum.
Oh yeah,
I thought, I'll give some of these old 360 games a go. Like Split Second is another one I downloaded, and a few others. And I load the games, right? And then it said that you have to sign into Xbox Live on the 360. And it won't let me sign into my 360 Xbox Live profile.
Yeah.
So I can't play the games. And I think the problem is my password on my Microsoft account is too long.
Oh.
So there's an issue, and I don't think a lot of people know this. So obviously it's tied to your Microsoft account, because they never sorted this out. Like, so if you have two-factor authentication on, you can't log in to the original Xbox Live. And also, if your password is longer than a certain amount of characters, you can't sign in to 360 Xbox Live, which I think is a bit crap for security purposes, to be honest. Because I'm not prepared to make my password really short and crappy just to sign into their service. They should have sorted that out a long time ago. So yeah, that's me scuppered for playing on the old original games. If someone said, "Oh, let's play Ghost Recon," I'd be like, "Oh, I can't fucking play it," which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, it's frustrating because you can't even play the single player games. Yeah. So it's just something a bit of a downer this week on that, which is a bit shit.
Next.
Anyway, I'm just talking because I'm trying to find the Facebook questions. Right. Steffi Business.
Uh-oh.
Do you think Nintendo are ripping their fans off with these reissues at full price? Skyward Sword as an example. That is a valid point. You know, it's an old game and it's selling for 40, 50 quid.
Yeah, but what else would they release in its place? That's the question.
Well, they should release it. They should release it for that price with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that because 50 quid, it costs... they're not going to make any money, and let's be honest. That is just a ridiculous standpoint. I know it's great for the consumer, but a lot of the time when these consumer demands come in, you know, we want this, we want that. You know, when you do all the maths behind the scenes to make sure people get paid.
Behind the scenes, the game's been out for years.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got manufacturing costs. You've got... I'm not justifying essentially what is an old game, but I haven't played it properly. You haven't played it properly. Nintendo games hold their price, no matter when they're released. You know, if you want to play it, you can play it now. You know, you don't have to buy every single fucking game.
Well, I could fucking pirate it and just play it on my PC if I wanted.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to because how would you control it?
I'll just use my Joy-Cons that don't fucking work on my Switch. On my...
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know what you're saying.
It's when people say, are these people ripping off here and there? And I sit down, I sigh at these questions. I really do, because...
Well, I think it's a valid point, to be honest, Dan.
It's skewed in such a way that it kind of means, okay, why is it this price? That's the question. Why?
If it was a brand new game that had just been made with today's production costs, etc., then yeah, I could see 50 quid, whatever. But a game that came out fucking 20 years ago or something?
No, it's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, they've got to do is fucking bung it on to download, 20 quid, big bish bash bosh, job done. It's all fucking profit because the game's already out.
Well,
it's just sitting in an archive somewhere.
You could say that from a film standpoint. You'll have like a 20-year-old film and they'll do like a 4K remaster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to come out cheap. It's going to come out for the same price.
Job done.
You're paying for quality at the end of the day.
I know. Yeah, I can see the arguments both sides.
It's everyone's perception of value. This is the discussion point really. It's everyone has a different perception of value. They do, and you know, I accept that. I do, but you know, I mean, $49.99. I think. You know, buying a Nintendo game every month at that price is steep, but I can afford it at the moment. I get it. Not a lot of people can. I understand that, but you know, people still buy video games. That's the thing. People still do. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Buy some fucking Nintendo shares if you think it's shit. Hey, presto.
Okay, Tom Harding. Who is going to give Diablo 2 Resurrection a go? I missed it originally, but left free, so I'm in. Yeah, so this is something I missed on the news, actually. Diablo 2 Remaster is coming out on consoles. The first time
I'd look at that.
Consoles.
I'm interested.
Dude, it is fucking amazing. I remember playing this on the PC when it came out. Fuck me. How many years ago?
20 years ago.
It was just insane, because... when I saw this news, I just thought, I remember my setup. I had a room. I was living with my dad, and I had a little room, had a little computer room for me, and I had I had a PC then. I used to be online on the Xbox forums all day, and I had the original Xbox, the OG Xbox set up next to my PC with the old big CRT TV that weighed about 500 tons. I remember getting Diablo 2 and playing on that and loving it, and it was so fucking good. So I think it's great it's coming to console, and I think people really enjoy it.
I've got a question. How much should it be priced? That's my question to you. 10 quid, fuck off. You're not going to get it for 10 quid. Would you buy it for 30 quid?
No, 20 would be my max.
Okay, fine. It's perception of values again.
Yeah, of course. But also, Diablo 4's coming out soon as well, so we're going to be just Diablos everywhere.
Well, 4's coming to console as well at the same time as PC, as far as I understand it. but not until probably next year or the year after. Lots of the goodness about Diablo, and I've learnt that since putting a lot of time into it, and then over the past year or so, is that it's deep as fuck, and the fact that it's taken so long to get it right just proves to me that we're in for goodness.
Yeah.
So yes, bring it on.
Yeah. I love a bit of Diablo.
But I'm not sure about Diablo 2. I might just play Diablo 3 again on the Switch. So it's fine, it's Diablo at the end of the day. Yeah. I hardly, at 40 hours of playing Diablo, I don't think I touched the barely scratched the surface on it. Even though I finished the game.
Yeah.
There's all sorts to do.
After, yeah. I mean, there's another game I enjoy playing from time to time on PC. I'm not sure if it's on console or not. I doubt it. It's called Grim Dawn. And that's very Diablo-esque, but it's more you explore a big map and you get little quests and stuff like that. And it's but it's the same viewpoint, and you can chill out and listen to a podcast if you want, and just mindlessly just kill enemies and upgrade your dude and stuff. But yeah, I love those types of games. Sometimes it's just a lot of fun, and obviously playing it in co-op's a lot of fun as well. Diablo 3 and the co-op in Diablo 2 is very similar. So
cool.
Yeah, good times, man.
Yeah, it'd be £50 on release, guarantee it.
Yeah, and I won't be buying it.
It's the Blizzard. I know, and you'll moan about it, and Steffi Business will moan about it, and I'll just sit here and go, I might just buy it to fuck you off. So done.
That's fine. It won't fuck me off, mate. You can pay what you want.
Anyway, carry on. Next.
Yeah. Okay, next question is from Clarky. He says it's 20 minutes too long for an online race. I would say yes.
It wasn't really a race though, was it?
No, I fucking gave up in the end.
Yeah. Oh, you went to bed. That was it. I remember that now because we were playing it and you just went, my blood joypad doesn't work anymore.
No,
and then you just signed off and went to sleep. You fell asleep at the fucking steering wheel, mate.
The sofa race, I just fucking I just sat there and let it end. I couldn't be arsed with it. And then the second race, I was actually getting into it, and then I got destroyed, and I was like, I'll spawn myself, and then it just crashed me to desktop on my Xbox. I was like, well, fuck this, I'm going to bed then. So that's what happened.
I'm just asking the chat if you guys can back me up. I know Clarky's in here, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you fell asleep and went to bed early because you were too tired to play anymore. Yeah, I'm right.
Didn't happen. I'm too hardcore for that, mate.
Anyway.
Okay.
Is that all the questions, or is there some more?
No. Gav Alford says, what is your opinion of Hitman 3?
I don't have an opinion.
Have any of you played it? I have.
Mm-hmm.
I've only done the first 2 missions, though. But what I played the first 2 missions, it's really good. And I mentioned this on the podcast previously. What I like about it is it doesn't really give you any hints, like visual hints. So, for example, the second main mission's in this mansion in England. And it's like, right, you need to kill this lady, but you can also solve this murder mystery if you fancy it. And it's like, right, you need to go into these rooms and talk to these people. And so you get pictures of the people, and you get a rough direction of rough description of where these rooms are. But then it's like, right, you're in this open area, just go and fucking find them on your own. So you spend a lot of time just exploring and talking to people and trying to solve stuff. And there's so many ways of assassinating your targets, which I really, really like about it. So yeah, it's a great game. The graphics are stunning, and I mean, I enjoyed the other Hitman games anyway. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Is it worth £50? I don't know because I've not finished it.
Is that a new review score now rather than?
But I got I got it on PC with including Hitman 1 and 2 as well, all in one package. So that was definitely worth the price of entry, in my opinion. So, all good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. So next question. It's the same question. Okay, Peebs. Last question is from Peebs because he's asleep, because he's lightweight. Thoughts on Outriders? Will it be one of the summer's big games? And if not, what do you think it will be? I think it's going to be awesome. Darren?
I'm hoping it's good. Like I said, I've spoken about this a few times before. It could be really good, or one of those games that was just like, it was good, but it didn't really hit or take off, as it were. Well, we'll know, because obviously there's a demo coming this week that everyone can play.
Yeah, it's Thursday at 5 o'clock, I think, isn't it? 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Something
for the
like
UK
that. All
people.
I know is I'll be working, so fun.
Same here, but I'll download it anyway.
Yeah, it's a full demo. It's not a beta, so you can play this whenever. Cross-play as well in the demo, and access to all the classes, etc.
So this is one thing I really like about this, and is that it's cross-play on all systems. This is something that I'd like to see more and more in more games. It just means everyone can play together, which is great news. So, good times. That's all for the questions. That is dead on 2 hours. Precisely. 2 hours and 26 seconds for the recording.
Done.
So I think...
You can edit some shit out, are you?
I'm going to have to. I've got some coughing to edit out. I've got some other bits I need to edit, I think. No top and tails this week. I need to redo my intro as well.
You do. It was a fucking shambles.
That's fine.
Remove the guff.
Yeah. Cool. That is the end, everyone. So thank you very much for joining this week's show. This show is dedicated to Mark Armstrong, Gnats. Again, Ray, raise a glass to you, mate. Rest in peace. For those of you that missed it on Twitch stream at the beginning, we had a few words to say about him. If you want to listen to the show that he was on, that's episode 15. Give it a listen. It was quite interesting because I listened back to it today, and it was the first show. It was the first show that we went back to weekly for the lockdown.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it was quite interesting to listen back to that. Anyway, from me, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G.
Switch.
And Cinema Dan. Bye-bye.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to join the Patreon if you want a show every single week of the year. Patreon.com/360gamercast. Don't be tight. $5 a month to get your favourite podcast every single week of the year. What more can you ask for in life? You can find me on Twitter at Webby360G or at 360gamercast. You can join our Facebook group. Just search for 360gamercast. And if you want to join our vibrant Discord community, the link for that is in the show notes. So
vibrant.
It is vibrant. So from everybody here, thank you very much. We will see you next week for the Patreon show. Goodbye.
There we go. Job done.